Here's our second video on solving inequalities using multiplication and division. This one, however, has more fractions involved, so I thought I'd do a separate video for it. One thing to remember, when you are multiplying or dividing both sides of your inequality by a negative number, we have to flip the inequality. I talked through that on the first solve inequality video with multiplication and division. Alright, so this first example, if you notice, we've got this 2/3 connected to the W. That's a positive 2/3, which means when I get rid of that, I will not have to flip the inequality on this. And here's what I mean. W is being multiplied by 2/3. The opposite of that is to divide by 2/3. So here you can see I'm dividing both sides by a positive number. I do not flip the inequality on this. W will stay greater than or equal to something. Now we just have to do that math. 4 divided by 2/3. So how do we divide fractions again? Well, I think it's helpful to rewrite this. Here's our 4 divided by 2/3. By the way, this top number has to be written first. The bottom number has to be written second. Alright, you can have 4 over 1 divided by 2 over 3. Now, the nice thing about dividing fractions is we actually multiply by the reciprocal. We change it into multiplication. First fraction stays the same, multiplied by, instead of 2 over 3, we're going to do 3 over 2. Here we can do some cross reducing, or you can multiply straight across and reduce. I see the 4 and the 2 can be divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Multiply the numbers you have left and you get 6. So W is greater than or equal to 6. On a number line, here's 6, 5, 5, 6, 7. This would have a closed circle on 6 shading to the right. So that's our final solution here. Alright, next example, what I notice is that we have a negative 1/5 connected to the M. When it's connected like that, you have to use multiplication or division to get that negative 1/5 to the other side. And because that 1/5 is negative, we will end up flipping the inequality on this one. So let me show you how that works. M is being multiplied by negative 1/5. The opposite of that is to divide by a negative 1/5. So here I go, dividing both sides by a negative number. That's the step that has us flip the inequality. So instead of M being greater than, I'll write it down here, M is going to be less than some value. But of course we need to do the math. We have 4 divided by a negative 1/5. You notice I wrote the 4 first and the negative 1/5 second. Make that a 4 over 1. And then when we divide fractions, you keep your first fraction the same and you multiply by the reciprocal. So you flip and multiply. Change this to multiplication. It is the second one that gets flipped. I look for any cross reducing to do. I don't see any. So I have 20 on top, negative 1 on the bottom. 20 divided by a negative 1 is a negative 20. So M is less than negative 20. Number line, we've got negative 20, we've got a negative 19 on the right, and a negative 21 on the left. This has an open circle, and because M is less than negative 20, less than shades to the left, those are the values that are less than negative 20. So when you're working with dividing fractions, remember you just multiply by the reciprocal or flip and multiply.